Like what?
I didn't hit anything. Just to get so angry.
That's enough of you. Enough. 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 That's enough. I'm going to give you something to scream about. Get over here. Get up.
I can't.
I'm talking to you.
I can't. No,
Stop crying. You're not doing it.
Integration, integrity, acting in an integrated manner. Now, when we discuss from time to time that some of you may choose to function in a manner that represents lack of integrity, we are not, in your terms, besmirching your moralistic attitudes. We are simply discussing once again that even though you may have the best of intentions, you may still from time to time, because of your habits, because of your assumptions, because of your beliefs, be acting in a non-integrated manner. That is, still creating separation, still creating segregation, and not pulling yourself together to function as a unified, whole, integrated being in a positive way. Thus, recognize that with regard to the connection of integrity and opportunity, many of you will find that from time to time, again, out of those habits, perhaps, out of your choices, perhaps, out of your fears, perhaps, many of you will still choose to function in non-integrated ways. And this functioning, this choice, can allow you to not necessarily recognize certain opportunities when and where they may appear all around you in very blatant and obvious ways. Perhaps not obvious to you because you are not focused as an integrated being. We have discussed the idea that if you do in your life what excites you, you will automatically attract all the opportunities necessary for you to act upon that will represent the path you chose to be and will allow you to accelerate in the direction of those things that originally excited you and increase your excitation exponentially. But many of you have made an assumption that these opportunities must leap out at you in very blatant ways, being very noisy. Not so. Recognize an opportunity, by definition, may simply be something you are aware of on a very typical level of awareness. In other words, just because you are aware of its existence, that is an opportunity. To know about something is an opportunity to act on that thing if it excites you to move in that direction. They do not have to come screaming out of the jungle, as you say, in order to get your attention, in order to be recognized by you as an opportunity. Well, here I am. I say I am functioning within integrity, but nothing is jumping out, jumping up and down, making itself obvious. But you may be walking down your street every single day, ignoring the obvious, the fact that you simply are aware that certain individuals and certain institutions already exist in your society that have everything to do with the type of things you want to do, and you simply are not allowing yourself to be willing to know that they do, to see the obvious, and to boldly go and communicate with those individuals simply because you think they have to come running to you. No. They have already come running to you. They have come running to you by allowing you to know they exist. Period. They have put themselves out there. They have made themselves known. The rest is up to you. Yes, sometimes they may act in more blatant ways, but it does not mean that they must in order for you to consider that as an opportunity, that as a representational avenue of the things that excite you. If you are simply aware that something exists, that is reason enough to act upon it. You do not need another invitation. Your awareness of its existence is enough. All that is then left is the willingness that is up to you to determine whether you are truly in synchronous harmony and in full willingness and belief and integrity about the thing you say excites you the most, or whether you are still willing to play the shrinking violet and not want to bother anyone with something that excites you, but, well, you're not sure might excite them. If you don't make yourself known to those that have made themselves known to you, you will never know, because you are not truly acting upon the opportunities that actually do exist all the time, day by day, very blatantly in your society. Many of these things are simply based upon the assumptions that you have been brought up with, the belief systems that have been drummed into you since you were very young. The idea that certain individuals and certain ideas and certain areas are unapproachable. Why? Nothing is unapproachable. Nothing at all. It is up to you to form the integrated spark of awareness, the inspirational leap of cognition, to know that as you walk down what appears to be a very ordinary and mundane street in your cities, in your world, very often all the signs and all the signals and all the opportunities and all the tools that you really have been asking for are all lined up one after another, right there, every day, right in front of you. All you need to do is start going and interacting with those things that have already made themselves extremely obvious. This is what integrity is all about. Acting on every opportunity that makes itself obvious, that is in any way, shape, or form connected to the thing that excites you the most in life. When we say these things will come to you automatically, that does not mean you sit back in your easy chair waiting for them to knock on your door. It means you act upon the opportunities that have already made themselves obvious to you, and then the rest will come in and make themselves obvious as well. But you must act upon what has already been laid upon your table before the next course can be served. You follow me? So allow the obvious to exist all around you. Allow the opportunity that you seek to already be standing, staring you in the face, because many of them are. And you are not willing to recognize them as such because you do not believe them to be such, because they are not acting in expected ways. Pay close attention to the assumptions that you may still make even when you think you understand a metaphysical principle. You may still be clothing it in many of the assumptions of what your society has taught you about how you think it does or does not work. Always, always, it will work in a positive direction for you if you are, in fact, acting upon the opportunities that present themselves with integrity. Always. Many of you have discussed the idea that things do not seem to be moving in a direction you expect, do not seem to be moving in certain directions when you say, I know I'm functioning within my integrity, I know I am acting upon the opportunities, but I do not see the opportunities come. But that, once again, is simply a matter of degree of perception of different levels in your society, for many levels still exist. And it is up to you, when you center yourself and clear yourself, to recognize that you may yet still be peering through one of those levels and not even knowing that that level exists. Allow yourself to recognize the obvious. For many times, because of what you have created your society to be, the truly obvious is not obvious to you at all. Allow yourselves to relax your definitions about what you think a principle is all about, what you think a definition is all about. Incorporate and integrate a broader spectrum of definitions in all that you do. You are surrounded by the abundance that you seek. All you need to do is see it for what it is. At this timing, once again, we extend to each and every one of you our unbridled joy at being allowed to interact with the facets of reality that you have created yourselves to be. For you are all unique, and everything you have ever done, inside and outside of integrity, has all been a part of your learning experience and adds to the whole energy that you are now creating yourselves to be in the fashion you are creating. We thank you for your willingness to create the endeavors you have created, to create yourselves to be who you are. You are cherished by many. We extend our unconditional appreciation and love to you for being willing to interact with us and co-create this interaction in this way to further the integration of your society and the respective societies within our association of worlds. And in return for this gift you have given us, We ask you, how may I serve you now? We would like to take a moment, a brief moment, in this communication to simply outline and reinforce, once again, the concept of intention as it must be aligned with action and married to lack of expectation. Again, very briefly, this is the triad, the mechanism for remaining in balance, for remaining in your center, for remaining in the present, for living in the now, while at the same time making yourself literally most magnetically attractive to the manifestation of reality that will be most highly reflective of joy. Idea of who and what ideally you yourself to be. Action. You will take your intention and actualize it through physiological action. To show through that action that you are willing to be open to the attraction. It grounds the intention. It grounds the idea. Locks it in your physiological reality. Your actions are the underscoring of your intention. You can intend something all day long. If you're not willing to show by your actions that you are aligned with that idea, it will remain in the realm of the etheric. And then, as we have outlined from time to time, you must go forward in these actions with the full intention that what you imagine to be true for you is true, but you must have absolutely zero expectation that it has to manifest exactly as you originally saw it. This balancing act is what allows you to remain open to the unexpected surprises and expansiveness of the infinite. For in most cases, as we have said, when you insist that the manifestation must occur exactly as you have imagined it, you are actually shortchanging yourself and not allowing the manifestation to come about in a way that might even be far more expanded than you were capable of imagining. So allow yourself to have a healthy dose of the unexpected. Let the unknown be your friend. So that in having full intention and acting in accordance with that intention, being your true self, acting in your excitement, by having no expectation that it must come out that way, you will paradoxically be allowing it the best opportunity to come out, perhaps not only the way you did originally imagine it, in its best possible format, but you will be allowing it to come out perhaps even better than you imagined it by removing those structures of expectation and insistence that you have been taught by your society to utilize. So keep it simple. For the reality is complex, but the mechanism of its creation is simple. Intention, action, no expectation will keep you firmly in the now, in the present, which is where you need to be to receive anything that you could possibly receive anyway. If you're not in the now, if no one is home, when opportunity knocks, you can't be there to receive it. You will not see it. It will be invisible to you. So then, we thank you for allowing us to remind you of this brief description of the mechanism of manifestation. In return for the gift that you are allowing us to experience this communication with your civilization in this way at this time, in return I ask you now, in what way may we be of service to you? Bashar.
you this day of your time. How are you all? Once again, we will take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you individually and all of you together collectively for allowing this communication link to be established in this way on this day. Each and every time you afford our civilization an opportunity to communicate with your civilization, it expands our understanding of all the different ways the infinite has of creating itself to be. And therefore, for us, this is a gift. So we thank you for your gift. We would like to begin this communication this day of your time with the following notion, the following concept, the following idea. As many of you may be beginning to realize, as you expand your exploration of consciousness, the concepts that you call space and time, as we have discussed now and then, are becoming a little bit more slippery, as you might say in your language. Many of you are actually beginning to experience odd and unusual shifts in time and space, odd and unusual, as you say, coincidences and synchronicities. You may begin to see an acceleration of many more events where you wind up exactly where you need to be when you need to be there. And you must understand, of course, as we have said many times, that synchronicity is one of the ways to recognize that you are expanding your consciousness and beginning to understand that physical reality is not really a place that you dwell in, but physical reality is something that dwells within you, dwells within your consciousness. And as you change the idea of who and what you are as a being, as an entity, as a consciousness, then the concept and the experience of physical reality will, of course, change along with it. Many individuals are beginning to experience great slippages in space-time. They are finding themselves sometimes winding up in places they have no idea how they could have gotten to, yet they got there nevertheless. They are finding that they may be experiencing slippages in time, finding themselves arriving at places that heretofore it would have been impossible for them to arrive at in the amount of time they had in which to get there. Individuals may even find themselves with extra time, finding time slowing down, speeding up, altering, accelerating in a variety of ways to afford them the opportunity to accomplish whatever it is they need to accomplish within whatever domain of consciousness they are exploring at that moment. You're going to find space-time becoming much more flexible, much more malleable, much more plastic, as you begin to extend your senses into the idea of other realms. You're going to find that physical reality really is only an idea. And that as you relax your grip upon the rigidized structure that you have always been taught physical reality to be, you will find that the rigid structure of physical reality will relax as well. You will be able to accomplish many different things in short amount of time span. You'll be able to expand yourself in a variety of ways and access information that it may have previously taken many lifetimes to access, but now are accessible perhaps even within what you call the blink of an eye. You'll be able to stretch yourself in a variety of ways, and all of this will have to do with your willingness to know, to understand more and more of who you really are and what you were really created to be in the sense of your natural beingness, your natural consciousness. What this simply involves is a process of relaxing the notions, the ideas of how you have thought about yourself, letting go of those things that no longer have anything to do with who you know in your heart is truly who you are. The more you let go of those things, the more you only choose those things that are of the frequency and of the vibration of your heart's desires, of your excitement and your joy, you will find that reality will accelerate greatly, expand greatly. It is all a matter of clarifying your definitions, because it is only your definitions, your strongest belief systems that define what you experience physical reality to be. So as you relax those old definitions, as you incorporate new definitions, you will find your reality truly becoming the playground that it can be. When you understand that your thoughts are things, and that physical reality exists within you, and is a dream, which doesn't make it any less real, because that's what reality is. It is what you dream it to be. It is the strongest dream you have, the strongest definition you have, the strongest belief. And as you change them, you will see, guaranteed, your physical reality will follow suit. But you must watch your intention. You must watch your integrity. and why it is you may want to change something. For if you're not clear about your motivations, you can then be very confused about what you get back from the mirror of physical reality. Your motivations must be clear. Your intentions must be sound. And in that way, always, if they are, you will find it very easy to understand how to get the reflection back, because you will understand much more clearly what kind of an image you are giving off, what kind of an energy you are radiating, and that determines the reflection and the experiences that are occurring in your lives. This is, again, not philosophy, this is physics. This is the way it works. What you put out is what you get back. It is as simple as that. Although, of course, no offense, we understand your civilization are masters at complicating things. But that is all right, because that is a valid way to learn. It is the way many of you have sought to learn. But now, because you are exploring the idea of spirituality and expansion of consciousness, by whatever means you may deem it to be so appropriate to do so, for all paths are true and all paths are correct, and there is no one right way, you will then, by doing so, allow yourself truly the opportunity to know. It does not have to be complicated, even though reality is complex. Complex in the sense that it is rich, like a tapestry of many threads. But understanding the thread you are, the cord you are, the vibration you are, is what will allow you to pluck that cord and play the tune that allows you to feel most like you. The real you, the natural you, the true you. The you at the core of your existence, of your consciousness. That's what it's all about. Simplification, clarification, redefinition of who and what you are, so that you can get the reflection in your physical reality mirror, for that's what it is, of who it is you really know yourself to be. Many of these principles that we are now discussing will, of course, as you say, come up in many of the discussions we will have with you this day or time in this communication link. And we will together see how perhaps these principles can be woven into your personal day-to-day experience of life, so that you can know how to apply them and get a direct physiological result, for after all, that's the key. You are expressing yourself as physiological beings, therefore, it is only correct that you should be able to take these principles and apply them in your physical life and get a physical change, get a physical result. And I guarantee if you use them clearly, simply, you will get that result, as long as you are clear about what you're doing and why, what your motivation and intent is, and what you define yourself to be. So we thank you for allowing us to remind you of these ideas. And again, once again, of course, we always stress, these are our perspectives, and they are in no way, shape, or form meaning that you have to understand them, you have to believe them, you have to apply them. We are doing what we do because it is what we love to do. We do not share these things with you from our civilization because we think you need to understand them, because we think we are better than you know. We do this because this is what we love to do. If you listen, if you apply them, if you take them to heart, that's your choice. It will not diminish by one iota the joy we get out of babbling on. But we thank you for being present and allowing this communication to take place. In return for the gift that you are allowing our civilization to experience in this time of sharing with you, I ask you now, in what way may we be of service